I'm glowing. Hi, I'm back. Wow. Do you like my fire? It's beautiful, isn't it? You can't even really see it because the microphone. Miggy, what have you done with your nose? Yeah, I lost my septum ring and it's very sad. If you're not from England, then you might not be aware that we have these exams called GCSEs in school. Our school years where you start at like nursery, or maybe nursery isn't compulsory. I don't actually know. We have like school up until 16, and then we have 2 years of college until 18, which is, you technically have to be in education until you're 18, but that's not the point of this video. I dropped out. And then you can go to uni afterwards. So the exams I'm talking about today, the GCSEs, are from 14 to 16. I'm now 18, so the artwork I'm going to be showing today from my GCSE years is very outdated. It is worth saying that I went through a lot of mental health issues during my last 3 years at school. A lot of the work is it's not dark. It's very centered around the things that made me happy during that time, because that was what got me through those years. I don't think that this is relevant or helpful really to many people taking GCSE art, because my case was so kind of unique. I don't know what to call it, but I was mainly in either isolation when I did this art, or I was at home when I did this art. I wasn't usually in the classroom. I didn't have much like commentary from the teacher. I kind of just did my own thing. Thankfully, my teacher was super nice and she let me have the highest grade you can get at GCSE, so I got a 9. Another thing to say is that all of the artwork I did from year 9 to year 11 is all here. Even the small doodles I did, I included in my artwork because I wanted to put everything into it that I could to make sure that I got the highest mark. It was the only thing I was really working for at the time. I kind of ignored all my other subjects, which, again, not really. Don't do that, kids. Stay in school. Right, so what I have here is my first folder. Shit, I probably need to cover up the school name. 1 second. Even though I haven't been there for 2 years, don't really feel like doxing myself just yet. This is the sketchbook that I started in year 9, so I was 13 years old. As you can see on the front cover, we were allowed to decorate it how we wanted, but I wasn't that creative back then, and so I was like, let's just put random doodles that I stole offline. So obviously we have Stitch. I love Stitch. We have a taco cat. We have a sun and a moon. That's not the moon. There's another Stitch hidden. And we also have a little fishy and a little yin and yang that's dribbling. The first things I kind of did when I entered my art was I did a lot of Viking-esque stuff. I did a lot of like Celtic knots and things. Brent Berry piece. I was so proud of this guy. Like, my 13-year-old self was like, damn, I've made it as an artist. This is my first introduction to like pen and wash and stuff. You see the circle down there. That was kind of like my first ever attempt. This is a Celtic design as well, maybe. I like the little thing beside it. I like this because it is bright and has complementary colours. Also, the shape of the wolf worked really well, making it look more realistic and creepy. I don't want to talk about the clay designs because I'm not gonna lie, I was terrible at clay. You saw that previous work, now look at my enthusiasm for clay.
Wow.
Now we move on to logos. I'm good at line work and I'm good at like replicating directly. I mean, some of these are terrible. We have some different logos. Let me see. I think this is squares. Colgate, the toothpaste. I think this is popcorn. And then we have Kellogg's down there. This is in pencil, this is in pen, this is in watercolor, and then the last one is in charcoal. This is when I started trying to do my own designs. This is the original as the logo, and then I redrew it. This is my first time doing digital art as well, which I think I did pretty well of. What is this? This layout is terrible though. But you can tell this is old because I wasn't going by Miggy at this time. Is this really? Nah, you guys can know that I was called Emmy. Pretty sure this is all sweet things. So this is the Chupa Chups eye. We have the M&M's M. Maryland cookies. Oh, the Maryland's from the Y. What's the charcoal? I have no idea. Aha, my first start into realistic drawings of people. When I tell you, it was not good to start off with. I mean, some of these are okay. My first ever human sketch that didn't look absolutely terrible and out of proportion. This was a replica of this drawing. I don't think it's that bad. My first ever self-portrait. Okay, this is the original picture. Look how happy I look to be in school. Do you see the resemblance? Then I look a little bit like Sid the Sloth. This is also my first time using the method that I use now to do portraits, so I've come a long way. I know what you're thinking. This is really bright against your eyes. I apologize. This is when I first got interested into cartoon stuff, so you're gonna see a lot of cartoon based things in here. So that's it for year 9. I'm pretty sure my year 10 and 11 stuff are both very kind of muddled up. This has got some better work in. So this is when I was like 15 going on 16. Starting off on the first page, we have probably one of the best drawings I've ever done. This is a pumpkin. As you can see, the shading's really bad this side, but if we ignore this and look at this, it's hyper realistic. I love this page. This is the first mention of my own character, Alex the Ghost. Alex is a little ghost that I made when I was really feeling it one day, and I kind of made little comics and stuff. None of them ever really completed, but he's so cute. He's got a little top hat. He has a collection of hats, which, I mean, then we have a more, what do you call it? A better understanding of cartoon stuff. None of these are printed pictures, by the way. I drew all of these. This one especially is really good looking at it. Are you ready for probably the best thing I've ever done? I did a whole Cat in the Hat thing. Dr. Zeus and stuff. And I think it's really good, and it's one of my favourite pages out of the whole of my GCSE work. Vex is probably one of those artists that inspired a lot of my work. This one down here, this is the one that I drew, and then these are his own work. I just love his work so much. It's so colourful and so mwah. Okay, I'm gonna put it out here now. I didn't have a hand fetish. Just saying, I just really enjoy drawing hands. That being said, that's quite a lot of hands. Lisa Morales, this is another artist that I just absolutely love. They do some absolutely beautiful work. Oh my god, did I absolutely love making these pieces. They took hours to do. This is a replica of one of her pieces, by the way. Here it is. It doesn't look as good now I think about it. And then I did one myself, which I don't know why it has such a big border around it. This is a little fishy that I did. This is my own piece. I don't think it's as good, but I do really like the shimmer on it. We're gonna move on to more Alex stuff for just a second. The last big sketchbook is full of my Alex and friends stuff. One of my favorites is the first one I did of Frank. I kind of just came up with this mushroom who's really grumpy all the time. This is Frank. He is a mushroom. A grumpy mushroom. Grumpy because he has no friends. Go make a Frank happy today and become his friend. I love this one. I basically got some new kind of pens and wanted to try something out. I basically put down pictures of all of the characters in the Alex world and put a description next to them of their name, their species, and a fact about them. But I really took the piss with some of these. So we have ones like Sad Froggo, name Froggo, species frog, fact ribbit, sniff sniff because he's sad. Name, no name, species star, fact. I think you know what a star is. Name, robot 2.0. Species, robot, fact, 1. Potatoes toy, 2. You don't want to know what happened to 0.1. I remember reading through this when I got it back and I was showing my mum and I'm like, what was I thinking? I don't really know what I'd say. Collages in a way. They're really fun to just look at and see the little things that are happening. And then we have this one with just a million potatoes running around causing chaos. You can see Robot 2.0 in this one. There's this one. And that is the end of the Alex book. I have a few more things to show. I'm not going to show the small sketchbook just because it's really old portraiture. So let me show you some of the bigger pieces that I did. So, the final piece. I did a lot of random stuff throughout my GCSE, so this random piece is kind of like all of those things combined. If I were to describe this final piece in like the shortest way possible, it's basically just a collage of bits. The whole piece is a puzzle that basically makes up a rabbit, which I actually took a silhouette of one of the rabbits we own called Bella. There was some of the Lisa Morales stuff that I wanted to add. We got some Alex, and we have just some plain watercolor as well. And I don't remember what the actual meaning was, to be fair, but it's really pretty. And that's pretty much all of the artwork that I did. I mean, okay, no, I didn't show a lot of it, but it's either really embarrassing or just not that good at all. But first one we have is an orca. As you can see, paper very bent. But it's a killer whale. We have a bunny playing the violin. I love this guy. I mean, you can see like some pencil marks underneath where his legs are because I accidentally made them too short. A little squirrel painting the stars and the moon. Yeah, that is the end of the video. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to either like the video or subscribe. One or the other, apparently. And hopefully I'll see you again soon.